Welcome back. Looks like a quiet opening that's coming up for us in a few minutes. 5 points up. The SGX Nifty Asia's very quiet as well. But earnings season is over and Rajat Rajkari of Motilal Oswal now joins in to talk about that. Rajat, morning. Did your faith in the upgrade cycle starting off after this earnings season go down a notch after the last couple of weeks?
Hi, good morning. Well, I think it's actually the reverse, because after this quarter numbers, the breadth of the numbers in the last 2-3 weeks became so bad that it actually led to a downgrade in the FY13 EPS number, which came like a negative surprise. But versus an earlier estimate of about 7% plus growth, this year growth rate now looks like less than 5% also. But important point that I want to make here is that there are 3 stocks which have led to more than 100% of the downgrade in the last 12 months as far as the Sensex earnings are concerned, which is the Tata Steel, Tata Motors and Bharti. Besides that, I think most of the large cap numbers have held on quite okay.
Rajat, hi. So just to get a couple of the basic details in place, what is it that you estimate now in terms of earnings growth for the next quarter, and what kind of Sensex EPS are you guys working with at Motilal?
For the next quarter, which is the March quarter, the earnings growth YOY for Sensex will be flat, which would mean that the full year FY13 EPS growth would be about 5%. But for FY14 right now, the earnings growth is 15%, and the growth rate looks high because some of the earnings which got very badly damaged this year, which is likes of Tata Steel and Bharti, etc., some normalizing of those earnings will itself push up the growth rate. So I think rather than looking at 1 year 5 and another year 15, we should look at the 2 year CAGR to be at around 8.5%. That's the kind of growth rate that we are looking at for the corporate sector right now.
From the 3 disappointments that you mentioned, there was Tata Motors, Rajat. You're not buying the market's enthusiasm about what JLR may do to bail that stock through?
Well, JLR is definitely providing a big boost to the numbers right now. In this quarter also, JLR was a positive surprise. But what I meant by the downgrade is that the domestic business has continued to surprise negatively, which is leading to the earnings downgrade at an aggregate level. But yes, these are cyclical low earnings for the domestic business, and markets will not pay them as low a valuation as what it would have got earlier. So that's why this stock looks pretty well stabilizing at about 300 rupees right now, and that is all because of JLR.
What did you make of the mid-cap earnings, Rajat? Because while the Sensex aggregates are one thing, they often tend to mask the reality of the larger or the broader market. Were there many more disappointments outside the index and more downgrades?
Oh, yeah. In fact, this is one of the few quarters where the number of companies that missed our EBITDA estimate was more than the companies that met the numbers, and this largely came on the mid-cap front, because right now the environment is completely against the mid-cap one. They aren't able to grow their revenues, the raw material costs are hurting them, and on top of it, interest costs are almost at an all-time high for these companies. So almost all the 3 levers in the P&L account are working against these companies. In fact, I think this would also be a quarter where the number of companies that are reporting losses have also gone up. This is not going to change anytime soon. We don't think that fourth quarter will be any different from the third quarter for the mid-cap numbers. As far as the earnings outlook are concerned, I think things continue to look very bleak for most of them.
In this kind of an environment, I mean, just to take your point about normalized EPS growth for 2 years, FY13 and 14 being close to 8-9%, is this an environment where you would expect to see more PE re-rating on the way up, above even higher than the 15 times odd that the market's trading at today?
Well, the PE re-rating cannot happen unless the growth picks up. The last year rally again that we very commonly talk about a 27% gain again happened post a 27% fall into the market in 2011. So even the markets are somewhere just normalizing within a band. In between that, you have some of the large caps which are where earnings are consistently growing up, and their stocks are also moving up, because of which the index itself has moved to these 20,000 levels. But then Sensex is just one index. If you look at the broader indexes, they are still much below than what their previous peaks were. So they are just indicative of how the broader earnings are panning out. I don't see any reason for any re-rating in the market right now, because the growth numbers are continuing to disappoint, not just at the corporate level but also at the macro level. And till the time we do not get the confidence that okay, we are coming closer to the end of the downgrade cycle, and the upgrade cycle will have to start for the markets to start getting re-rated. Both these things will move in tandem, where earnings acceleration and PE re-rating both will happen simultaneously.
While numbers were not uniformly good for this sector and news flow is still sticky, Rajat, the market seems to be taking a greater interest in real estate counters. How are you approaching that, and what's your top buy there?
Well, in case of real estate, I think there are two kind of companies. One where the debt levels are very manageable. You can track them on a quarterly basis based on their execution plans. Management's guidances have been quite firm. If you look at companies like Prestige, Phoenix, Oberoi, to some extent even DLF, while this quarter operationally there were some miss. I think overall these are the companies which have still been doing well, and the markets have been respecting these stocks on a very different scale. And then you have the other very high beta kind of real estate names, where they are kind of becoming a pure play on the liquidity or the risk profile of the market. There, I think there continues to be disconnect between the way the stocks behave and the way the businesses are behaving. From a real estate sector point of view, I think people are still quite worried about the way prices have been holding up, at least on the residential front, and commercial is anyways not seeing any worthwhile demand as far as some of the key markets are concerned. I think it's going to be a very stock specific move, with the first basket that I spoke about we still being positive on, and the second basket will more be a function of how much risk the market is willing to take at a particular point of time.
What about oil and gas? How did you guys read the recent price increases, and what's your view now, both on upstream and down?
Well, I think the most important thing in upstream companies is that after 2-3 years of flat earnings for stocks like ONGC, you at least have an outlook where first some price deregulation, and second, expectation of a gas price increase can push up these earnings significantly. The market still remains quite skeptical of what that number would be, whether from the current 30 rupees EPS, ONGC will be able to earn 40 rupees or 50 rupees. I think we are very clear that the earnings growth number are going to look pretty good over the next 2-3 years. You may see some hiccups as far as the price deregulations are concerned sometime in the later part of this year, but even if you get another 5 to 6 hikes, I think that would be good enough for the diesel under recovery to come down to a more manageable level. Overall, at about 300-325 rupees, I think you're still buying the stock with a very good option value, very limited downside, very good dividend yield. This remains one of our top stocks to pick into the market for this year.
Ambuja disappointed quite a bit, and there's been quite a bit of caution on that sector after looking at Ambuja and ACC numbers. What would you do with that stock now, Rajat?
I think that there are three issues right now with these stocks. First is of course the royalty, and that sword continues to hang on because they couldn't pass on the entire royalty increase that they wanted, and that can come again for these companies in another couple of years. Second, the underlying cement demand growth continues to be lower than what it should have been. And third, these stocks have seen a fair bit of re-rating because they have held on very well because of the pricing behavior and their balance sheets. From here on, for these stocks to perform, the cement demand has to pick up. Otherwise, you will not see any worthwhile re-rating happening here. At least it looks like that from June onwards this year, you should start seeing some pickup in the cement demand, because you have multiple big elections, including state and center, coming ahead. And if the government starts pushing forward with some of the expenditure that they have curbed in this quarter, that itself should help to create some demand. So a cement demand growth of 8% plus is very critical for these stocks to show any further performance from here. Otherwise, I think stocks like Ambuja at about 200 rupees, stocks like ACC at 1200, 1300 rupees will remain in a band.
So far this year, the market's been very narrow. The broader market has clearly underperformed. Do you see that trend being in place for another couple of quarters, given the disparity in the blue chip earnings and the broader market earnings?
Well, this year again will be a year where every quarter I think you will see either risk getting carried on or being brought off. More importantly, till the time the mid caps do not start showing signs of stability in their earnings, I think the broader market will find difficult to pick it up. But I think more importantly is the point on how much we think RBI will be able to cut down on the rates, and that expectation itself keeps on changing every 3-6 months. As of now, we still think that at least another 50-75 basis points is something that this system needs. If market gets the confidence over the next 2 quarters that there are at least 2 more rate cuts ahead, I think that will definitely mean a fair bit of excitement coming back into a lot of these beaten down mid caps, where liquidity itself can help them to show some valuation rally.
Do you have a list of 4 or 5 best buys before the budget, Rajat?
Well, we do not have buys before the budget, but I think for the year as a whole, we still feel that there are very good investable stocks at these prices, and some of these stocks are the ones which are going to come back after a disappointing last 1 or 2 years. Stocks like Infosys, ONGC, ICICI Bank will still continue to do well. I think some of the PSU banks which gave up a large part of their gains in this fall again starts looking good, because now from a trend of everyone disappointing, the trend has become mixed, where few are disappointing and few are doing well. And then within the mid caps, we have stocks like Tech Mahindra, United Phosphorus, some of the mid cap cement names, the print media names. A lot of these stocks are still looking quite good for us to look at them buying right now.
Okay, Rajat, thanks for that. I hope we have a better earnings season the next time round to talk about. That's the Motilal Oswal view on how earnings season went down. Take a break on that note, but as we do that,